Hello everyone, my name is Carrie Morris and I am here today to talk to you about one of the most pressing issues of our time. I will cut to the chase and say that this testimony is about environmental policy. Now, I know that there were bound to be some sighs, eye rolls, or thoughts along the lines of, oh, here we go. Some of you may already be thinking about what I might have to say and are thinking, this is an issue, but we have greater things to worry about right now. Or some of you might not even think this is an issue at all. Well, I'm here to explain to you why this is an important issue and why we must take it seriously. The effects of climate change are real and devastating. We no longer have the luxury of pushing this problem away for some other generation to handle. Now, before I get into it, I feel that it is necessary to quickly address those of you who might not believe in global warming. To you skeptics, I just have one thing to say. 97% of the world's scientists, a nonpartisan group, agree that climate change is real and is happening now. If you can trust these scientists to fly people to the moon or to make new medicine, then you should be able to trust them on this matter. Now, climate change is a very large umbrella that encompasses numerous issues, but the problem that I have chosen to address today is that of the United States carbon emissions and how we must switch from coal energy to more sustainable sources of power. Later, we will hear from James Hansen, a leading expert in global warming, as he discusses his paper on the dangerous effects of unrestricted carbon pollution. However, for now, we will stick to the U.S.'s approach to combating this issue. Current U.S. policy is dismantling previous efforts to reduce CO2 emissions and transition to cleaner energy sources. The most prominent cause of this is the Trump administration and its resolve to deny climate change as well as ignore our scientists. They justify their actions by saying that they are protecting American coal jobs in our personal interests. But by ignoring the signs around us and failing to address global warming head-on, they are in actuality leaving us vulnerable. The solution? There are many, but we can start by transitioning from coal dependence to more clean and sustainable power sources like wind and solar energy. As of 2015, the United States is the second most contributor of carbon emissions at 15% of total world emissions. Please let this sink in. That is 323 million people who contribute more to the accelerated greenhouse effect than the entire European Union, which has over 743 million people and is only contributing 9%. Much of this excess of CO2 is caused by our coal industries. According to the Energy Information Administration, coal in 2015 in the United States produced 1,364,000,000 metric tons of CO2. This is 71% of CO2 emissions from the electric power sector of our nation. The total amount of CO2 emitted from cleaner sources of energy don't come anywhere near this amount. One of the main arguments from clean energy opponents is that there would be a loss of coal industry jobs. However, by switching to alternative energy sources, millions of more jobs will be created. Not only will there be more jobs, but there will be more sustainable jobs because clean energy will always be in demand. Additionally, there are many different sources of sustainable energy, but let's focus in on wind power real fast. Out of the 10 most coal-dependent states in the nation, 6 of these states have the ideal environments to produce windmills. These states include Montana, Nebraska, Wyoming, and North Dakota. Therefore, not only is it possible for these coal-dependent states to convert to renewable energy, but not only is it possible for these coal-dependent states to convert to renewable energy, but there will be jobs for those former coal workers as well. In 2005, it was found by the National Renewable Energy Laboratory that wind turbines in the U.S. could generate 37 petawatts per hour per year, as compared to the 3.8 petawatts required to power the nation. Combine this with other forms of clean energy, and we would never need to touch coal again. So not only will switching from coal power to sustainable power create millions of jobs, but it is also incredibly efficient. Another thing about switching to renewable resources instead of using coal is that there are many options that we can use, and they are all unique to the different states that may want to use them. For example, in Arizona, where there is strong sunlight year-round, solar energy would be the ideal renewable resource to use, or renewable energy source to use. Other states, such as Wyoming, are can have perfect conditions for having wind turbines. So, in conclusion, there are many methods that these states can enact, or many ways that these states can approach switching to renewable resources or renewable energy. I know that you've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again because it is important. Do what you can to combat climate change by taking proactive measures such as switching to clean energy. It doesn't matter if you acknowledge that humans are the cause of dramatic climate change or not. The world is still dying, and we have to take action regardless. If you can't put aside your party's beliefs and the useless arguments about what will be done, it will already be too late. Little things make a big difference. So I suggest little things make a big difference, so just start with that initial step. We can't change our past, but we can stop waiting. We can stop being a reactive force. Because if we do not take action now, we will all suffer the consequences of CO2 emissions not in 50 or 30 or 20 years, but within this decade. Most of us in this room will be in our 20s or early 30s within 10 years. We should be finishing our educations, building our careers, traveling, or starting a family, not being victims of Mother Nature's wrath. We can either sit defenseless as we wait for the worst to come, or we can take proactive measures like switching to cleaner energy sources for a more sustainable tomorrow. Thank you.